What's good, what's good, what's good, everybody? My name is Usica.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Beast.
Welcome back to the Necked Out Podcast. We got a special guest in the building.
You already know.
He is our winner from our Necked Out Podcast Awards of 2021.
That's true.
Funniest story with the traffic ticket.
Hey.
Let's give it up. A round of applause for our good friend, William Alfaro.
Let's go.
How's it going, people? Hey,
big-
AKA Vader, you know what I mean?
Hey, let's go. Show him the shirt. Let's see. Pull the. So they can see the shirt.
They can see it.
In the galaxy. Best father in the galaxy.
And then you got the little Vader right
Pa que sepan. Pa que sepan, dog.
there. You know?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for pulling up. This is your second time on. You know, first time you were on with Juan Cheese.
Juan Cheese.
You know, and it was dope. It was great. And before that, I know you were pre-expecting a child.
Yeah, that's true.
And now that child is with us here on Earth.
He's here right now.
I say bring him in. I really thought this man left him out in the stroller. Yo, what if he had left him outside?
I actually brought him.
What if he had his girl with him out? Just wait out here.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when they come in.
That'd
They're
be
backstage.
dope. That'd be dope.
But so let's get right into it. You know, this episode is gonna be. We want to talk about fatherhood.
Hey.
We want to talk about it. You know, from a male perspective. We did ask some. We did tell some of our listeners, hey, if you guys have any questions, let us know so we can ask a legit father. You know, like he's been a father for a few months now, right?
Yeah, about to be 8.
About to be 8 months. So, you know,
Yeah,
it's not a
bro.
long time, but it's still
Time
like
flies, bro.
it's time.
True.
You know, so we're towards the end we're gonna have like, well, maybe like in between we'll sprinkle some questions at you.
All
but
right, no, yeah. No
but
doubt.
so I just want to start off. You know, what were the emotions behind, like, how did you feel when you knew you were gonna be a father?
Oh, I mean, getting that news from my wife. Wow, it's very beautiful. I got emotional.
Yeah.
I cried.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so many thoughts came to my head, like, oh,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen now? All these questions, man. And
Yeah.
I mean, at first, I don't know if everybody, but me personally, I went and I thought, like, am I really gonna be capable of, you know, teaching, you know, being a great father or being there whenever he needs me, stuff like that. But my emotion was just pure happiness, man.
Yeah.
It's just the greatest news you could ever hear.
Yeah.
That you know that you're gonna be a father.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy. How was it like when, like, the day of? Were you nervous the day of?
oh, the day of. Let me tell you. Well, going into not super details, but we went in a day prior, which was no, not a day prior. The day prior, she told me, hey, you know what? Like, I'm feeling stuff, but
Yeah.
right on the next day, she was gonna have a doctor's appointment. So.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, you know what? Maybe you could wait.
Just
you
wait.
know, like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, you know, I don't think it's just a big rush. When she got there, bro, I got a call and she was like, you know what? The doctor said it's time.
Oh, snap,
So,
bro. It's time.
At that point, I was just
Buckle up.
grabbing stuff, bro.
This
Like,
man
just
this
grabbing.
man went into dad mode.
Yeah, like
Grab
it looked like I was going on an international flight.
Bruh.
I had like freaking
This man grabbed the soccer ball with
You
him,
got
too, bro.
maletas.
Grabbed everything just in case.
This man got maletas and everything.
everything, bro. Like I grabbed everything, maletas. I packed in for like 7 days. You know, like,
Wow.
but when I got there, she
Yeah.
was already laying down in a bed, waiting to get a room. But this baby waited that whole day.
No way.
Yeah. So it was the 9th of November, and he wanted to be born on the 10th.
He said, I don't want to
Yeah.
be born on an odd number. I want an
Yeah.
even number.
So that when you know, fast forwarding to the 10th, you know, I see a nurse, and they're like, something's not you know, not going. Not that it was bad, but it was just like they knew that it was coming. So that when I saw that nurse, you know, calling just people in the room, I'm like,
yeah.
oh man, here we go. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, buckle up. I got nervous, man. It was nerves, but like, you know, a good feeling,
Excited?
like excitement, bro.
Yeah.
And the best part of all is just when you hear, you know, your baby cry. And,
Damn,
Yeah.
bro.
you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you're going to be traumatized for what you see. But honestly, bro, it's just beautiful. Everything bro, shout out to all the women and mothers out there, bro.
Show them some
'Cause
love.
honestly,
Show 'em
bro.
some love, bro.
Because honestly, if you thought we were strong as a male specimen, bro,
Yeah,
I don't think we could go through that, man. I'm being dead serious, bro. We cannot go through that. Like
I
sometimes,
believe you, yo.
You know what it is? I think it's because people perceive men just to be physically strong, like lift heavy
Right.
things and just, like take care of, somebody if some shit goes down, like in a fight. People
Right.
think men are strong, and we are that way. But women, their pain tolerance
yeah,
is on another fucking level.
and that is the truth, bro. I saw it like with my own eyes, bro. Like women are capable of just holding that pain
Yeah.
just so they could deliver life
Yeah.
to this world. Like that's insane.
Yeah, that's true, man.
But
Women they're like superheroes, bro. Like they could just do like crazy shit like that, you know?
yeah, with a cold, I'm already crying, bro.
Guilty, bro.
That's the
We
truth.
get
man,
made
bro.
fun of. You
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
cold? Oh, that's cute. Have a period. Have a baby. And I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah,
Never mind.
And after that, like after seeing all that beauty, like because I call it beauty, bro. It's
Yeah.
just beautiful seeing everything.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the end. Man, it's just
Yeah.
it's just an experience that that I hope that everybody
Yeah.
doesn't think
Yeah.
that you're gonna be traumatized. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not traumatic at all.
Yeah.
It's actually a beautiful.
Bro, just hearing you talk about that is a trip to know that, like, bro, literally, like, women have power to give life, and like bring life into this world. Like us men, like, you can't like produce that.
All we
you
do
know?
is plant seeds.
Yeah, and even then, like,
And sometimes they're pathetic. Sometimes the doctor will tell you, yo, your shit don't work, bro.
but like these women, man, they're just incredible, bro. And you witness like that. You witness like one of the most beautiful things ever, just like life coming into earth, especially with someone you love and cherish, and not only that, but your own baby, as well. So I'm sure it was dope, bro.
Yeah,
Did you tear up?
what was that?
Did you tear up? Did you cry?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, did you
For sure?
like ugly cry, or were you just like
Tearing
tearing
up.
up, like emotional?
Nah, I ugly cried. That's
Yeah.
that's for sure. Yeah, I ugly cried.
Let's spit it.
I mean, nobody saw her because everybody was focused on my wife.
This
Shout out
man
to
in
my
the
wife
back.
out there.
This man in the
Hey.
back with his hand on the wall. Nobody said shit to him, bro.
Nobody.
Yeah,
But
course, of
when it
course.
came time, there is a time where they're like, "Hey, Dad, come over here. You're gonna cut,
Give you a little
you
pat
know,
on the
the
back.
umbilical cord."
Oh,
Now that experience, it's alone.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just a connection, bro.
yeah.
Like that's how I felt it. Man. It's a connection.
Gave me the
When you
chills,
cut
kinda.
the umbilical cord, it's an amazing feeling. Seeing your baby cry, man.
Yeah.
It's just so much emotions that you feel at that moment. It's like Drake said in his song, "Until you stare, you see, you cannot relate."
Mhm.
So
Oh, shoot.
that's how it is, man. Like once you stare, you see, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Damn, bro, that's
So
crazy.
I want to reference this movie, and you probably know it. I don't know if you do, but it's a movie called Knocked Up with
Okay.
oh yeah.
with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
It's basically a movie for the listeners that don't know. It's a movie about Seth Rogen and this girl who they hook up once. They have sex, and then she gets pregnant, and
Right.
they go kind of the wrong ways. They don't talk for a while, and so she reaches out to him and she goes, "Hey, I'm having a kid. You're the father," and then so they're in this place where they're like, "Oh, like what do we do? Like, how do we go about this?" And then the girl is like, "Well, I'm obviously gonna keep it, but you don't have to be around for it because I know this was not your choice. We didn't plan on doing this." And so eventually they stay together and they work through it, and then it becomes this thing where like they're trying to prepare for the baby to come. And then I forgot who said it, but one of them said, you can read all the textbooks and all that stuff, but like once your baby's here, most likely it's not going to go the way that the textbooks say, because every baby is different. Every baby, like there are some babies that cry a ginormous amount. There are some babies that rarely cry at all. Like they'll get a good night's sleep. And so every child is different. So my question to you is like, what was your preparation like? Were you trying to like read all the books and stuff, or were you trying to just be like, let me take a little bit of information and just kind of be like, I'll figure it out as I go. Like, what was your mindset behind that?
Well, I didn't read a lot of books, but I did get knowledge, like, from videos or just people that have gone through, through that experience alone. And just ask not random questions, but just questions that are in general, like, oh, what you do if this happened, or, but it is true what you said. That movie does state that, and it is true until that baby's there. Like, that's when you'll know what to do.
Yeah.
There's a quote that I said, like, that I read. It says, "Are you, when do you know that you're ready to become a father or a mother?
Yeah.
And if so, like, are you going to be prepared?" It's a yes and no answer, because you could definitely prepare for the basics, like, oh, if the baby cries in the middle of the night, what could it be? Feed them, blah blah blah. But like you said, every baby's different, and luckily, I mean, my baby did sleep, so
Clutch.
But there's moments where you do have to wake up, and
you're like,
you
damn.
gotta be there. But yeah, that is true. Until that baby's there, that's when you know, and that's how I took it too. I would learn. I'm learning as I'm going.
Yeah.
Hey.
And just because it's different, maybe other people haven't gone through it, or people that that write the books, they don't go through certain situations. So
Yeah.
that's how I pretty much came across.
How do you feel now that, like, you're in this state? What have you learned right now ever since your baby got here? Any lessons that you've learned already? How is your drive, like, as a male now, as a father? Like, what does that feel like for you?
I mean, there's been some lessons that you definitely learn along the way. My first lesson was at the hospital. You got to make sure that you have a pamper ready. You can't just leave the baby like that, because they end up either peeing or pooping right there and then. And as a father, and just every morning that you wake up, that you want to see the baby smile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
That gives you the motivation to continue during your day. If you're stressed out, that's all you need. Honestly, like, that's how I feel. All I need is my baby smile, and then everything just completely vanishes from my mind. Anything that I'm stressing over, anything that any problem related, everything goes away, and it's beautiful, bro. Like, I told this to I think Beast. Like, people say, "Oh, love at first sight," but I think when you see your baby eye to eye and he smiles at you, that's love at first sight for sure. Like, I don't think it's just your partner. Yeah, you could love that person, but the true meaning of love is your kid, your baby, man. Like, that's one thing I did, experience.
I've heard that a lot of people, like, that's why when they have kids, and some people might have different opinions about this, but when a couple has a baby, their priority is no longer their partner, in a sense. Like, up until you have the baby, and even before conception, right? Like, even before you guys conceive the baby, you're making sure that your partner is good, that they're happy, and that everything is cool at home and all that stuff, right? So it's housekeeping within each other. But then when the baby comes, it's like, I can't worry about your problems. Like, I can't have them high on my priority list, because I have to do my part as a father or as a mother and provide for this child and make sure that this child gets what they need first. You're an adult. Like, you can take care of yourself, figure it out, but I need to focus on this child. And so, I don't know if, like, a lot of people like think that way, but I know there are some people who definitely are, like, they kind of not zone out from their partner, but all their attention just goes into, like, baby mode 24/7. Like, oh, you want to watch a movie? No, sorry, baby.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know how many people think that.
I mean, I hope there's, like, a balance to it, because for me, like, I would want the best of both worlds. I would want the best of, like, enjoying your kid, but then also enjoying the partner that you've created that with.
Yeah.
And finding that, like, in between, or finding what works for you guys. Obviously, I'm sure in the beginning, like, is it true, like, the whole no sleep thing, like, where, like, parents having trouble getting sleep, because the baby's always on like crying. You have to wake up in the middle of the night to feed them. Is that like a real thing? Like having trouble sleeping when there's a new baby?
Yeah, it is. It is a real thing.
Yeah.
This man, his
Like-
eyes went. His eyes went. Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's
a real thing.
It is a real thing. In the beginning, like he, it depends. But my baby will sleep. But then it hit the 2-month mark, and there's a special word for it. I don't know. I think mothers out there will relate.
Mm-hmm.
But at 2 months, they like reset, bro. So if they were sleeping from 9 p.m. to like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden their minds reset, and now they're not sleeping during the night.
Oh,
They're sleeping during the day. So it's I don't know. It's something strange, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, we did experience that at 2 months. Like he, there were nights where he didn't want to go to sleep. He kept crying and crying and crying. And I'm not gonna lie, I spent a couple of nights. But most of the time it was just mom. Like
Yeah.
there's something about like you said, it's a 24/7 job. But usually, sometimes, mom is always
She's
first
on
at getting to them,
Yeah.
and then it's dad like, oh, do you need help?
Yeah.
Oh, no, stuff like that. But there's times where I want to give her that time alone, like for her, because it's stressful for them too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, so, we got to put our stuff aside. Like if I want something, I have to go get it. If she, vice versa.
Vice versa. Yeah.
But we have figured it out that at nighttime, at least give an hour or two to each other. Without
That's
worrying
beautiful.
about, still worried about baby.
Yeah.
Because,
Still keeping an eye out. But
right. But focus on us. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
If you want to watch something, if you just want to talk about something, if you just want to lay down and not say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Hey.
So it's
Let's
something
go.
that is recommended because, yeah, you go through a lot of stress. Unfortunately, that's the unfortunate part because it's a beautiful, thing to be a parent, but it's
Yeah.
also stressful.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely got to give each other time.
Yeah, I'm sure it's stressful, bro. It's just like everything's new, bro. Just like a new human is there, it's just learning their schedule, what that does to your partner, what that does to you, like you're just sleep deprived, like all these other things. So you're talking about like top-notch stressful situation, but
Yeah.
I think what you described is dope. Like just being able to look at your son and like feel something, like it can completely like silence everything.
Yeah.
Just by looking at it. I think that's pretty dope, bro. Like that connection, that sort of like deep engraved emotional connection that it's not like, it might not even be like something tangible that people could like explain. It's just like there though,
Yeah.
it's literally just there. And I think that's dope.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, in the morning, he does get like, I know, I don't know if it's cheesy or not, but
Say it.
But in the morning, like every time he wakes up, because I'm usually already at work, working. I'm blessed to be working from home,
Oh, that's
so I get
lit.
to watch him
time.
grow every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Let's go.
so when I'm working, I know that he wakes up either at 8, he comes out with his mom, and he looks at me, he gives me that little smirk, like, oh, okay, you're there again. Like I've seen this before. Like
I seen this dude
Yeah.
before.
and then that just smirk though alone is just so beautiful, man. Like my day is already made just by looking at that.
That's what it, bro.
And yeah,
Do you like find yourself having conversations with your baby, even though they can't understand?
oh, believe
Like, you
that.
vent to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I talk to him like if he's responding, man. Like I have full on conversations with my boy, even though he doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he
Yeah.
responds like or
He
dada
goes-
or mama,
Yeah.
I'm like,
What's
right.
the first word he said?
Oh, I took an L. He
You
did
did?
say mama.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I told her that she won that battle, but as soon as she started liking sports, video games,
That's game
even
over,
anime, bro. Oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
She could be like that war is done.
So I've noticed that like the way I was raised is very much, and obviously parenting styles are different for everybody, right?
Mhm.
But the way I was raised by my dad, who I feel like sometimes he wants to live vicariously through me, like putting me to do the things that he couldn't do. And I feel like that's a thing that that happens a lot with fathers, that, even myself, I think sometimes, like, maybe when I'm a dad and I don't know how many years, um, how am I going to raise my kid? Am I going to raise my kid to be like, to try to pursue soccer the way I didn't pursue it? It's like you almost want to like tell your child, like, hey, don't make the mistakes that I did. Like, you can do it. You can do it. And you kind of almost unfairly put them in those situations because, example, all three of my siblings, we played soccer, but really it was only me that enjoyed it. My older sister, she was okay. I was pretty decent and I enjoyed it. And my younger brother, he didn't enjoy it, but he was decent at it.
Okay.
And so I feel like that was my dad trying to be like, no, one of these guys is going to be a soccer star because whatever, I couldn't do it, or because it's my favorite sport and blah, blah, blah. And so we like fathers try to infuse that into their kids. What are some of the things that you want to infuse into your child? Like, are there certain things about you that maybe you didn't get to accomplish, so you want them to do that? Or are you just like, I don't care what you do, just, do whatever makes you happy?
I mean, deep down inside, I hope my son, in any sport, become at the professional level.
Yeah.
Especially soccer. I love soccer. And I hope that one day he's interested enough. But I've already put in my mind, until the day comes where he's experimenting different sports, if he likes sports. But as right now, my mind is set, like, whatever he wants. Is what I'll definitely lend a hand in, what I could and help.
Yeah.
Because even though I wish that, and I hope that he becomes a soccer player.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not going to be his happiness. You know what I mean? So if I push that, maybe I'm pushing him away from me.
Right.
That's how I think. That's just my mentality now.
Yeah.
Maybe later on in the future we could have another conversation and it'll be different.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I feel like if I push my son to become what I wanted to be, then maybe I could be even pushing him away from me. So I wouldn't want that.
So he might build up like resentment.
Right. Just because of me pushing him to something that he doesn't even want to do.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to ask you, bro. Our parents came over here, you're first generation born here, right? Right? Yeah, okay, good. No, it's because I know you lived over there for a year, right?
Yeah, but I was born here.
Yeah, okay.
You lived out there for a year?
Yeah, bro. Yo, that would trip me out.
A year or less than a year, yeah. I even went to school over there.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, how old were you? How old were you when you went?
Like what, maybe 7, so I could learn Spanish.
That's why your Spanish is so good, bro.
Yes.
Like, he was out there.
Spend a little. Yeah, all you need to spend is like 3 months in
true.
in Salviland.
Ya estuvo.
Puta maje.
Yeah.
Venís, pero bien preparado.
Bien astuto.
And I went out there. I went to school, bought myself a uniform, everything.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope going to
Yeah.
school. I don't remember a lot, but like little key moments I do.
That's
Yeah.
what it.
And as of right now, I'm only speaking Spanish to my son, so he can learn Spanish first.
Yeah.
Because either way, he's going to school here, so he's going to learn English.
Yeah.
So I want him to learn Spanish first,
Yeah.
and then
That's what
at school learn English.
So, like, what I was trying to get to with that question is, like, I feel like most parents, that did that have a lot on their plate, just coming to a new country, learning a new language, trying to find a job, trying to stay under the radar, trying to provide for the family. I think people make mistakes along the way, right? They just they're just in that situation, right, where they have to decide, well, do you want food and shelter, or do you want me to be there for you? Like, what is it? Like, are we gonna survive for the next week, or are we just gonna talk and like me be there emotionally for you? And I feel like sometimes a lot of Latinos, Latinas can relate to that story of like, your parent having to sacrifice time they had to work and stuff like that. From your experience, like from what you related, what you've learned, what you saw your parents do, what's something that you say, like, okay, this is what I want to do different with it when it comes to my kid? Like, this is something that I want to make sure to do. Like, do you ever think of that? Like, maybe some if that's even like cool for you to share.
Yeah, one thing, it's already happening now. You know how when you have to go to, well, my parents had to go to work, and they had to find someone to leave, me with, or
Oh yeah.
any parent, find someone
Right,
to
right.
take care
I
of.
had a bunch of babysitters growing up, bro.
Right. That's something that I've talked it over with my wife, and I told her, like, if it's okay with her, not to pursue a job right now or to even be working, just to dedicate her whole time to the baby. Obviously, it's not me pressuring her to do it or demanding to do it.
Yeah.
But having a conversation just so our baby could grow up with, with us. Like, I don't want them, to grow with, not that I have anything against it. It's just that just the past life, just seeing your mom go to work or your dad, and maybe they want you there at a certain time. You just never know when the baby's gonna need you or your son, daughter's gonna need you.
Bro, my experience I had like a weird experience, not like crazy weird, thankfully, but like it was just weird experience at like when you have a babysitter. Like I remember getting dropped off to like the babysitter's home, my dad being at work, and I was with my sister at the time, but it was just like growing up, like, and seeing, just a different dynamic, just like a different, it just felt weird, bro. It just felt like it's not your home. You're not comfortable there to do certain things. Like it was always a bit weird for me.
Yeah.
Even though I was a little kid who still like, probably I still played, I still got in trouble. I still did all what you do as a little kid. Right. But I'm sure like growing up with one of your parents there and expressing something to them is different, bro. It's different from the things that, I mean, did your guys' parents, were they there with you guys?
So mine, when I was growing up, yes, they kind of had similar schedules, but I would say in like after school programs, either that or like my sister. I had an older sister who's 8 years older than me, so it's like in a sense she was more like a mother figure to me. So she would pick me up and take care of me, whatever, right? So my parents had the luxury to be able to go work, and I worried too much. But there was a time with my younger brother who, during his upbringing, my mom started to work, or not start, she had to work weekends. And so during the week, my dad would be more involved with my brother, picking him up from school, stuff like that. And then my mom during the week would be more involved with my brother and stuff, slightly. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, she was a housekeeper. So she would actually go and stay over at the house that she was cleaning, and she was a caretaker of the house and of some like an older lady that was there. And so she would stay there the whole weekend. And so those were the days that my dad forcefully put my brother into soccer. So it was only my dad who was taking my brother to the soccer game. So my mom wasn't there. And obviously, yeah, like I said, my brother wasn't really crazy about soccer, but like he did play. He made friends. He was on teams. They won championships. So it was experiences that he had for a couple of years. And then so like maybe like a couple of years ago, my brother's 21 now, so he's older, but a couple of years ago, my mom admitted, like, she's like, you know what, I regret not being there for those like important years for your brother, because like, my brother went through this phase where he was being very rebellious and not doing too well. So she kind of felt guilty that she wasn't there for him, or that she wasn't there to just like spend time with him, with my dad. And she felt, that she just felt an overall sense of guilt. So I didn't experience that. I was lucky enough to have both of them, like spend time with them fairly. But my younger brother did have to like miss out with my mom a little bit. And so, yeah.
I mean, my wife tells me like, hey, any school activity, any plays that he's gonna come out, she's gonna be the first one there and whatnot. And I'm like, man, that's cool, because sometimes, because of work, parents have to miss those plays where their son or daughter come out, but yeah, I mean,
and it's important to them, like to the kids, like, there's nothing. Like I used to be in a chorus when I was in elementary school.
Okay.
And my dad was working during the day, and I think my mom as well for the most part. So we had performances that we had to do, and every once in a while my mom would come, but it wasn't very often. So like as a kid, you're already nervous going up there and singing, right? and I couldn't sing, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who the fuck decided to put me in chorus, but I couldn't sing. All I could do was mouth the lyrics and just hide behind everybody else singing, right? So, as a kid, I was already nervous.
Is that for like church?
No, this was elementary school.
Oh, this is school?
Mitchell Terrena.
Oh, okay.
And so I was so going up there, you're already nervous, and then like when you look out and you don't see anybody that you recognize, there's like this lonely feeling inside as a kid where it's like, damn, like obviously these people are here to see the performance, but they're all there to see their own kids, you know,
Right.
like, and I'm like, damn, like my mom or my dad isn't here, type of thing. So it kind of like makes you feel some type of way as a kid. Obviously, I'm older now, like I'm over it, but it is something that in the moment you're like, you feel sad, you know?
That is true, man.
Yeah.
Because I remember then, like, after the play or after whatever, like, the kids go running to their parents.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, good job,
oh my
Migo."
God, yeah, and then you're the only one there walking around with your other homie, like, so like, where we going?
So
for
what we
lunch?
doing? But that's how it is, dog.
Yeah.
That's how it is, and like it might seem something. It might seem like something very minimal and small, but like for that kid, it's important. You know, it's important to
Yeah.
feel like they're being supported. And again, that's not to say that the parents don't want to be there.
No, I know.
You
yeah.
know, but because of work, you know, like they have to put food on the table. So it's like a harsh reality, especially for a lot of Latino parents.
True, and
You know?
and this situation now, like, I know that my mom had to leave her mom back in Salvi and her dad. So I get the point, but I get that point, and maybe that's why, you know, she had to work extra hard and leave me with a babysitter. Because
Yeah.
right now, I look at my kid, I could call my mom, and like, hey, mom, I need you to take care of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be more than happy.
Yeah.
I mean, she has gone nuts over this baby.
Bro, moms love babies,
yeah,
bro.
like, my mom,
Grandma.
man, bro,
Yeah.
loves this kid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think loves him more than me,
Damn.
bro.
Nothing like the mother's love, bro. Real talk.
Nah, but it's a beautiful knowing that, you know, I have, like, for example, you know, my wife's sister, she's there, like, if we need her to take care of him, or my sister,
Yeah.
my dad, you know, my mom, you know, like, you know, there's a lot of people around him, so
That's different, bro.
yeah, so it is
that
different,
mhm.
you know, in the sense that, you know, since we're generation one,
Yeah.
our kids have that opportunity to be with their grandparents.
Yeah, that's
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah, that's a trip, bro. Because I knew grandparents from like, you know, a phone call. You know, that's how you know, you knew them from like they were calling on the phone, and your mom's trying to force you on,
And you're like,
and you're like,
Yeah.
I can't even speak Spanish.
And
like
it's only
that.
like 2 minutes that you're really gonna talk to them.
I know, I
But it
know.
seems like an eternity when you're on the
Yeah.
phone with them.
So I mean, I think every now and then my grandma would come, like from my mom's side, she would travel over here, and
Okay.
it was dope, like having that. So I could imagine like just knowing that you have your grandma there
yeah,
consistently, and growing up with, you know, that generational, you know, those two generations. I'm sure it's amazing, bro. Because I think back to my grandfather sometimes, like both of them, I'm like, bro, what would they tell me? Like they both passed away, but like what kind of stories? What would they want to like pass down to me? You know, like what mistakes that they made that they would want to pass down. Those jewels, like they're gone, and like I think my parents didn't experience that at all because they were both taken from them at a younger age. So that was missing there as well. So I'm sure, like, growing up with a grandparent around the house is going to be great, bro. Like, the stories, the love, all that stuff.
There's a lot more personal connection to your grandparents
Yeah.
when they're around a lot.
my mom was already like gathering old stuff. Like I'm talking about, you know, old pictures, just so she could, you know, tell them
Yeah.
to my son. Like,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful because, you know, you don't want to let that just fade away.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you want that to continue, and just like you said, man, it's a blessing for my son to be with everybody. It's just call family, you know, not some, you know, a stranger taking care of him. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is dope to have
Yeah.
my mom at all times right there.
Yeah.
Like, she did it.
Beast, do me a favor, pull out the Instagram. So
Yeah.
I want to start laying some questions on my guy here.
Oh,
But
false.
but again, these are I want our listeners to know, like, these are questions that are not. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
You know, these are questions that people asked. It's just out of curiosity, you know, like, obviously we're two guys that don't have kids, but William here has a child. And obviously it's only been a little less than a year, but that's still knowledge and experience. And maybe, and that's perspective that you can't
for
get from
sure,
somebody
bro.
who doesn't have kids. You
For
know,
sure.
we could sit here all day and talk about like,
What
you know,
ifs,
what ifs,
circumstances.
yeah, like hypotheticals,
Yeah.
but it's not like getting it from somebody who's going through it right now. You know, so la gran. Tirame esa cosa. Ponla en el face. Damn. Swear, Hispanic parents be doing that. Where is?
That's
we
fine.
go.
Though. We finding it. Hold on. Hold on.
No, I got it right here. Okay, so this person, their question didn't fit in the little question bubble on Instagram, but they said, does a father ever feel insecure about the bond they have with their child compared to a mother's bond?
Wow.
Like, is that a thought that they struggle with?
That's a good question.
That's the
Let
question.
me see this.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent question.
Wow.
Maybe not. I wouldn't say insecurity towards yourself and the love and the bond, but you definitely see it. Like, as me personally, I know my baby mom all the time, straight mama's boy, and it's not that I'm insecure about our bond, but it's like I want to have that with him. For some reason, though, it's like when they say, hey, you're a mama's boy, it's because a boy, what everybody says. A boy goes to their mom, the girl goes to the dad. That's just how it is. I don't know if it's, I can't explain that, but I think I'm not jealous of it, but I wish I could have that feeling at least for one day that he does, But there's moments where he wants me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Because my favorite part of the day is putting him to sleep.
Yeah.
And on my chest.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like you got everything. I tell him in his ear while he's sleeping, like, bro, you got everything. You got a water bed, whenever you're ready, because it's me, I'm big. But it's always. That's a very good question. I mean, I'm not jealous of it, but I wish you definitely feel it, bro, and then you want to feel that connection, like that big connection with your son.
Did you experience that with your dad, or were you close to your dad? Like growing up, were you and your dad? Do you guys have a good bond, or was it a little bit difficult with you and your dad?
It wasn't. No, it wasn't difficult. I'd have a good connection with my dad. Yeah. I think where I went the most though was definitely my mom.
With mom.
Yeah.
But with my dad, I had a beautiful connection. I still do.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's dope, bro.
Yeah. And I ask him questions too. Don't get me wrong, because I wanted to know. He always tells me that I was an annoying baby, and that my baby is perfectly. He's 100% perfect.
Yeah.
But I do ask him questions just so I could get knowledge of him and see if I was like that. Because maybe he could help me around if we're like the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's one thing that I trip out about? And obviously we're getting like ahead of ourselves because obviously your baby's not even a year old. But like one thing that trips me about fatherhood is like how my girlfriend always tells me like you would be the type of dad to try to like make our kids' friends like you or like laugh all the time. Like you would try to be the cool dad that everybody like, it's Mr. Bonilla, like, hey Mr. Bonilla, what's good, big dog? And I'd be like, what's good, my young, I would be like dumb and funny and shit like that. But is that something that you, like, how do you think, right? We're playing hypotheticals. How do you think you would, what kind of dad would you be around your kids' friends? Like when your kids, well, like when your son, or if you have kids more kids in the future, what kind of dad do you think?
I think I'll be doing the same. Like, hey, yo, what's up, man? What's good?
Y'all trying to smoke?
Yeah,
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
We're not gonna do that.
It's a
but
joke.
yeah,
It's a joke.
definitely, and maybe like not to that extent, or just because I know that he's probably gonna feel embarrassed if I just go out and be pretending I'm one of the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I look at it that way. I'll definitely try to be that cool dad,
Yeah.
Maybe when he tells me like stop, then I'll be like, I think I'm not doing it right. So I'm just gonna leave it as is.
So would you wouldn't try to like embarrass him in front of his
definitely.
Be like, did you guys know like he peed his pants like 10 minutes ago? Like,
I don't think I'll do it with his homies. I'll probably do it like when he brings the first date.
hey, let's go.
Yeah,
That's when it gets good, bro.
That's when it gets the best. You know what I mean? And like I tell him right now, like you're my son, so like, because sometimes when I kiss him, he'll like move his head. Like, hell no, I could kiss you whenever I please, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know.
You know what's funny? You mentioned that, bro. I grew up this way with my dad, and a lot of people think it's weird.
Yeah.
Not weird, but they feel like it's strange.
Yeah.
I kiss my dad. Like I kiss when I see him, I hug him and I kiss him on the cheek. And from like the very beginning, my dad was very like affectionate in that way with me, like where he made me feel comfortable, like loving him and being like physical, like hugging him and like, you know, stuff like that. And you're not my dad, so stop. You're not my puppies. But like,
This man, I bet you caught it on the camera. I got all weird when you like hugged me, bro. I just don't know how to handle that shit, bro.
you got to lean into it. Okay?
I was all weird.
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there are some people who grow up with that machismo dad that are like, no, you don't hug your uncles or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you shake their hand and you have to have a firm handshake. And with me,
You do the nod.
yeah, you do the not like. For me, it wasn't like that. It was like, even to this day, like I'm 28, pushing 29. My dad's in his 50s. When I say hi to him, I still give him. I still kiss him on the cheek. I
That's
kiss
your
my
brother too, right?
I kiss my brother, my younger brother. He's
Okay.
21. I kiss him on the cheek too. Like, it's just this thing that we had. And when people, when
That's cool, bro.
our other friends would see that, they'd be like, "You do that? Like, you kiss your brother and your dad?"
I think that's beautiful, bro. Because I do. You know, me and my dad are like similar, like
Yeah.
you and your dad. I even every time we have a phone conversation, like at the end, I tell him, "Hey, I love you, Dad."
Yeah,
and he'll
yeah,
tell me
yeah.
I love you too. And I remember one time, they were like, "You just told your dad you love him?"
Mhm.
Like, yeah, bro. Like it is. You know, that's how the bond we have, and I want to have that bond with my kid too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, because the machismo, like you said, I was experimenting that with my baby, and I don't know if this is machismo, but let me explain a little bit
Okay.
of what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. So when I will have him when he will be playing, you know, everything good laughs. That was me. As soon as he started crying, I would I'll hand him over to
Hand them off.
to mom,
Yeah.
and then I think I was having a conversation with you, Beast. I'm not 100% sure. I want to change that because the baby's gonna grow up to be like, man, I can't cry in front of my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like that's something like why can't we? You know,
Yeah.
why can't we cry in front of our parents?
Yeah.
I remember my father told me like, hey, you know, one time that I don't know, but he just told me let it out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was the best. It was a good feeling.
Not
Wow.
bad,
You
bro.
know, like,
Sheesh.
and then you just talk about it with your pops, especially because they have that point of view, that male point of view.
Yeah.
And I want that for my kid, but I was doing it wrong because every time he'll cry, I'll just hand him over, and it starts at youngin, bro. Because
Yeah.
once you don't catch yourself doing that, it's gonna go on. And
Yeah.
when as soon as he started crying, run to mom,
Yeah.
so she could take care of or resolve the problem. And I don't want that. I really want my kid to come to me as well when he's feeling low. Because normally, no, get your ass back up or go
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
you
Or
know?
stop crying.
You know, suck it up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean. I really don't want that. I really want my child to express every emotion to me because that's what I'm there for.
Yeah.
To lend him a hand, or if he wants to talk, to just talk, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I find often that people who like, especially boys who grow up being comfortable with their emotions tend to be a lot less. I don't know if this is a fact, but tend to be a lot less aggressive in general. Like, I feel like they're not as like so tough, so macho, you know, and not necessarily aggressive as like, you know, violent, but just, you know, there are guys out there that give off this persona that like, oh, you don't want to fuck with me, bro, because I'll fuck you up. Like,
Yeah,
don't even look at
yeah.
me. Don't even look at me weird. And it's like, those are insecurities, like major insecurities that this person has that they probably developed when they were kids. Like their parent, their dad, or even their mom too, maybe, you know, we never know. But their parents told them, hey, you don't cry. Guys don't cry. Boys don't cry. You better suck it up
Yeah.
and stop being a little girl, stop being a little bitch or whatever they say, you know? And so I noticed that. And so like, and to me, I kind of grew up that way where I was okay, you know, like my dad never really like scolded me for crying.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't cry too much, but you know, the times I did, like they weren't trying to make me feel bad about it. Really, only every once in a while, my mom would be like, or you're gonna cry, I'll give you a reason to cry. You know, that typical like Latina, like
Hoy sí se lo-
sabe, man. Hoy sí te voy a, oh, sí te voy a romper el hocico. That,
Damn.
you know,
bro.
but like for the most part, you know, and I don't consider myself to be somebody who walks around with like his chest puffed out all the time. So I don't know if maybe that's something that, you know, starts at a young age, and if you raise them a different way, you
I
know?
feel like for me, I didn't grow up with a dad who like was doing that, like was like machismo, like hey, you can't cry, you can't this, but he just wasn't like he was there, but he just we never talked about anything like that. So we never like he was never like no, don't cry. I just never made a connection of like what you're explaining, like that I could do that with my father, right? And even with my mom, like sometimes like something would really have to be off for me to even be able to do something like that. But it was more so just growing up in an environment with a lot of male, just like guys my age who were like experiencing that side of things, who would tell me like, nah, don't fucking cry, we're gonna get in trouble. So anytime I like busted my head or I was bleeding or I would get hurt just playing a game, it was automatically, hey, don't cry, like don't cry, we're gonna get in trouble. Or like, you better shut the fuck up, bro, or else I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, you know, 'cause we're gonna get our ass
It's
whooped.
like, wait a minute, I'm hurt. What the fuck?
You gonna hurt me
like
more?
busted face, blood running down.
Oh my
like,
God.
And you
little
still
kid,
gonna beat me up if I
don't
cry?
beat my ass. Yeah, bro. And that's just how it was. So then I just started learning that, you know, just like anytime I would get hurt, I would run and hide. I would try like covering up, make sure parents like didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And just like tough it out. We would tough it out all the time, bro. So I didn't grow up with a dad that would tell me like, hey, boys don't cry and stuff like that. I just never had a connection with him in that way where, you know,
Where
bro,
you felt comfortable opening up and like expressing anything.
bro,
to
I've
him.
never asked my dad, like, I've never asked him like any questions growing up, like, hey, why do I feel this way? How can I do like nothing like that, bro? Me and my dad, it was definitely a trip. He's a good man. I say like he's a provider. He was there for the family. He stuck around. That's for sure. Like was dope. But like me having a connection with my pops I never had, that was deep in that way, you know. And even but I felt like I just started turning that way. And what you said, is right. Like most of these people are just trying to hide their insecurity, just trying to hide their hurt.
They're trying to compensate.
Yeah, they're like that toughness. Like, I'm not gonna let you see that I'm completely wounded. I'm not gonna show you my cards.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm gonna show you the opposite and be very tough, be very dominant. Because that way, one, you're not gonna hurt me, and two, I don't have to expose this to you and feel shame. Because that's what I feel like a lot of males think that happens. Like, if you just expose that, hey, you're a human being and you feel shit sometimes. Like there is no shame with that, you know. But
Yeah,
that's just how it is. So
we got a statement from one of the Instagram questions. It wasn't a question; it was a statement, and I remembered it because it was very like, whoa. So I'm gonna share it with and we can discuss it. So the person said, the Clippers ain't shit. Damn, not gonna say that. They're not, but no, I'm just kidding. No, but so the person said, and these are their words. They said this is a fact that being a single dad is harder than being a single mom.
motherfucker sounds stupid as fuck.
I would strongly disagree. I mean, there must be like a very small amount of cases where that might be true.
You think so?
I think so, but because I don't think anything is ever like, I don't think statements like that are like it's 100% true or 100% not true. Like,
I see what you're saying.
there's some give where that may be true, but I think overwhelmingly, it is 10 times harder to be a single mom.
I wonder if they asked that because they're a single father.
I think this person is a single father.
Like, and what does that mean though?
I think
Like, he's a single father. Like,
I think what he's trying to state is that, because, like I told you earlier, my wife. Well, I don't think I mentioned this, but my wife knows what to do
Yeah.
when my baby's crying. Sometimes I need to ask her, hey, yo,
This
like,
man's Googling. Google, what do I do?
like I ask
My
her,
kid doing
it's time
backflips.
for him to eat,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
looks at me like, bro, if you haven't seen him eat for like 3 hours, you know, so I know that look, you know, like, oh, okay, oh,
No, you're
bottle.
right.
This
You're
way.
You're
right.
right, you're right.
This man passed the whole day, bro. Hey, did this kid eat already?
And my boy,
Hey,
while,
you hungry?
hey, while I'm eating a burger,
this man looks at his kid like, hey, did you eat already? Oh, boy,
Cause
why,
Want some?
Because these fries are bomb, bro.
why don't you say nothing?
For real.
No. But like that, bro. Like she knows, hey, it's time for this,
It's
or it's
instinct.
time for that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they on it.
Yeah.
Maybe what he's trying to say is that it's just that it's hard for us to know. Like, I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but it's hard for us to
just because-
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you know.
like they're just so that's why it's more harder for them. for
That's
male,
why I believe that he
just because
thinks,
it's
but
not innate.
Yeah.
I feel like first of all, maybe I was a bit insensitive, but anybody who's like a single parent, if you're a single parent, I'm sure it's tough. Like
Yeah.
being a single parent, whether
Yeah.
you're male or female. Now, where like guys have it more tough if you're a single father versus a woman having it more tough if she's a single mother. I don't know. I don't even know if that even needs to be discussed or said.
I think maybe in a and if we're thinking in a traditional sense, right? And this is us just putting hypotheticals. We're assuming, right? Let's say that we're sticking with the single mom is the one that cooks for the child, right? And has to work, is expected to cook, work, and take care of everything at home.
Yeah.
And the dad is just like working and then just fun time with dad. You know, in that case, then yeah, of course, it's harder to be a single mother. But again, we don't know what this person's situation is like. Like maybe this person has a negative relationship with the mom because there are bad moms out there. You know, there are bad moms, and so he might be in that situation where,
or is he just getting a taste of like what the reality is for all these single mothers, and he's thinking like, oh snap, it's much harder for me. But in reality, all these single mothers might be like, join the team, join the squad.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Like you're crying about something that like we don't even have the space to be able to say something like that.
or nobody takes it serious,
and nobody cares.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Nobody would take serious if a woman, is saying something like that. They'd just be like, no, you need to suck it up. It's your choice. You decided to have it, so you got to now deal with it. You know?
It's so true because
Yeah.
like normally you would go back, oh well, my mom did it. How come you can't do it?
Yeah.
To women like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, well, I know,
There's a lot of
there's a
different
lot
ways.
of different ways that you could just go back to a woman like, well, I seen it be done.
Yeah.
But with a dad, you don't normally see that. You know.
Yeah.
But there are
Yeah,
cases. But I still think it's hard for the mom, man.
Yeah.
Because they really like 100% on it, man.
And not only that, but I feel like the way society views women plays a part in this.
Yeah.
Like the way society views like women, like sometimes like even like with this whole like just moms in general, like, oh, you need to suck it up. It was your choice, so now deal with it. There is no sensitivity. There is no like anything about that. They still need to do everything. They still need to go out there. Like women still get paid less on the workforce than male. Like that's still a thing in our times.
Yeah.
And like even like when they get their period, they're supposed to suck it up and still go to work and do all these things. Like they're expected to just keep doing it on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Being a mom, providing, putting the food on the table, trying to better themselves and go to school at the same time. Like they're doing all these things. And on top of what the society norm says they need to do versus a male,
we just got the man blue.
It's different, bro. Like being a man is just completely different. They don't put those norms on us. They don't put that pressure on us, because you're.
And we don't get that thing every month. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's crazy because they go through it every month, right? And they have to deal with so many emotions because they get.
You get mood swings. Yeah,
Mood
it's
swings,
part
bro.
of the menstrual cycle.
But they gotta keep it. They gotta hold it together for the baby. So yeah.
And what about just like what is post like after giving birth? For like she just physically did something. She physically brought a human
person.
being to earth,
Yep.
and like she has to deal with that. The body changes, the
Yeah.
emotional changes. All of that stuff and then if
They
she's
get
a single
depressed
mom,
sometimes, too.
and then what if she's a single mom?
Bro,
She's like, hey, get back up and get to work because you need to provide for your child. You
Yep.
decided to
Let me-
have it.
let me just put in
Yeah.
this story because it's something amazing to me, bro. My wife delivered our son at 10 a.m. on the 10th. That whole day she stayed pretty much day and night. That whole day after pushing and all that energy
Yeah.
wasted, like not wasted, but you know what I mean,
Exerted.
drained.
Yeah.
She still stayed awake to feed them every 2 hours
Wow, dude.
while
Yeah.
I was snoring. Cause
Watching
like,
the
I'm like,
Barcelona
This
game.
man was knocked, bro.
I woke up and I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just feeding baby. Like I'm like,
How'd
oh
you
my
do
god, I
that?
just fell asleep
How'd
on
you
her,
do
bro. Like,
No, it's
Damn.
because I'm
And-
telling you, I
and
think
she-
they're superhuman, bro.
and
I
she
swear.
was awake.
Hell yeah, bro.
after pushing, bro, like I'm like, damn, I just felt right there. That's an F for me, bro. Like, you know,
Bro, I swear, like they just, it's this thing. It's like that. They have like this new superpowers, that sixth sense. Like they just know, they feel. Like I'm pretty sure there's like science like based upon certain things like that. Like,
Well, I mean, not just that. Like let's compare it to the animal kingdom, like with cats, because I know everything about cats. Obviously,
this bad dog. Go ahead,
this man
dog.
swears if I can pull out the textbook.
Yeah.
No, but like with in
This man said animal kingdom.
and then went to
And said
cats.
what cats, bro.
But it's the
ahead,
closest
dog.
thing I have a reference to. That's why you bitch. Damn.
What am I gonna talk about?
But
Fish.
This man got a frog with fish and a turtle, bro. How you gonna talk to me about Animal Kingdom, bro? You're probably
right,
going to
you're
eat
right.
it. You're gonna probably throw him in the air fryer when
You're
it's
right.
all said and done. No, I'm kidding.
For
No,
real,
but,
bro. Uh-huh.
When cats get other cats pregnant, when the guy gets a girl cat pregnant, most of the guys they dip. They're gone. They're like, I'm gonna go plant my seed somewhere else. And it's the female cats, the mother cats that take care of the litter. They feed them.
yeah.
Why do you think
They eat the umbilical cord for
they
them.
have to lick off the placenta and all that shit, bro? So it's like, even in the animal kingdom, it's like
Damn.
it's like the
That was
mother
too visual
is
for us, bro.
the mother is the provider. The mother is what holds the entire earth together. Is the reason why they call Earth, or that's the reason why
Mother.
they call it Mother Nature, because she's a mother, because she's nurturing, right? And so I think it's that, like, and then putting it into a different context with the whole with the whole single mom thing. I would argue, and I don't have the statistics on this, but I would argue that most custody battles end with the mother getting custody
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the kids, right?
Especially in Cali, like that's always gonna be.
So now
for
imagine,
sure.
just that alone, you are spending about 95% of your time with this child. You have to work.
Yeah.
If you're going to school, you got to go to school. You got to cook. And the
What
dad,
about-
the
like-
dad sees him on the weekends.
Bro, and not only that, but what if like a mom, like a single mom that's also breastfeeding? Like,
Yeah.
you know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that father doesn't have to do that.
Nope.
But that mom, that's another thing that they have to do on top of like maybe trying to like read a book or find some downtime. Like when will she be able to decompress in that way?
Yeah.
You know, there's just so many like stacks of why it just like that statement really just like, I don't know. It's just,
There's a lot of things, because even if the baby's not eating, or they still got to pump.
Yeah. Yeah.
They still got to wake up and pump if
Yeah.
they're not eating.
oh yeah, to
that's
get
another,
ready.
Yeah,
to-
bro. So
So
There's just so many layers, bro. Like why, like, I get inspired by my friends who are like single moms or like just moms in general, bro. Like I get literally inspired by them because they have no excuses. Like they make it happen. They find a way to make it happen.
yeah.
And I feel like for us, like sometimes guys, we just take the easy way out sometimes. Like it's like whatever. Like
See, the mom will take care of it.
yeah, but like with like women, they just like, bro, no excuses. They're gonna get it done. Especially like if they're on the like, I'm upset and I'm gonna show you. It's like, you
Oh,
can take
yeah.
that as a
It's-
fucking guarantee.
It's an
That shit is gonna get fucking
automatic
done,
L, bro.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
so, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that statement could be.
It needs to be refined, man.
Needs to be
Congratulations,
refined.
bro. You're sticking it out. I mean, shout out to you for being somebody who's like putting in the work. And that's
Yeah.
why I said anybody who has to be a single parent, my hat goes off to you because
Yeah.
I'm sure that's tough. But about like comparing yourself of who has it worse or not, I don't even think you're in the same galaxy, my boy. Like,
Yeah.
like these women are at
They're
another level and they keep
different
going,
realm,
bro,
bro.
and they just make it fucking happen
Yeah.
all the time, bro. And I also, bro, I want to give you a shout out, William. Like, shout out for you, bro, for like
Thanks.
being there and like being involved and just being in your kid's life, man. We need more of that. We need more men to like do things like that. I feel like the reason why sometimes we see certain things and we see generation of hurt and things like that. It's because, you know, it's just that past generation trauma that keeps going on and on and on and on. But someone that could say, no, I'm here for it. I'm here to it. Take on the responsibility of changing the narrative. What does fatherhood look like? And being a part of it and willing and being there is shout out to you, bro, for going through it,
real
man.
talk.
And like, that's with it.
Yeah, it means I have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because I'm being forced to be, but because, man, every day that I spend with him, I'm loving it even more and more.
Yeah.
So like I'm with it, man. I'm strapped on and see where this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's with it, bro. Well, William, thank you for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. One more thing.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you would say, like, anybody that's like expecting, or anybody,
That's a good
any
question.
guy, any male figure that's like stepping into that, thinking about that, what's like one like word of advice that you would give
Give him
them?
like a little
Fatherhood advice.
a little prep, a little speech, a little
Okay.
game time speech.
Well, if it was me, I would love to hear that. Not to stress out of how that baby's going to be raised or anything like that, because you learn along the way. That's one thing for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
You know, not to overthink it either. You know, you're going to be a great father as long as you're there. You know, you're taking care of him at all times. And one last thing, like I do wish that I was told that it's not easy, but it's a beautiful experience. And you know that no matter what, you will get through it, no matter what's going on, but you'll definitely get through it. And yeah, that's the best thing that I could tell someone that is expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Beautiful.
go, bro.
Beautiful. Well, William, we can't thank you enough, bro. Aside from being a great person, a great friend, we know you're a great father, and you're setting a great example for your child to be a great person as well. Not just a great, husband or brother or friend, but a great person overall in general.
Yeah.
So, we'd love to thank you for coming on and sharing knowledge and perspective, because it's all about perspective. Like, we can sit here and be like, play hypotheticals, but it's different hearing it from somebody who is currently going through it and who has experience in that and knows about these kind of things. And like, what you just said, to not stress, it's like, that's like the one thing that I feel like a lot of guys who are expecting fathers, they do that.
I think
Stress.
I think we overthink it.
Yeah.
And that's not to do that, because either way it's coming. Or I mean, not it, but you know
They
what
are
I mean.
coming.
Yeah,
They're
baby's coming.
Yeah.
And just if we're stress free, you'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, like it's the best experience in the world.
Perfect, man. Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, I think we're good.
Yeah, I
Right?
think we're good.
Yeah. All right, for sure. Well, everybody, William, thank you for coming on.
No problem. Thank
My
you
name
for
is
having me.
Usica.
Your boy Beast.
We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.